Have you ever had that gut feeling? That little voice in the back of your head telling you something is off, even when everything on the surface seems perfectly fine? That's exactly where Mark found himself. He and Sarah had what everyone called a picture-perfect marriage. They were high school sweethearts, the kind of couple who finished each other's sentences and seemed to communicate with just a look. For 15 years, their life was a beautiful tapestry woven with shared dreams, inside jokes, and the comfortable rhythm of true partnership. Mark adored Sarah. He loved the way her eyes crinkled when she laughed, the way she'd hum off-key while making coffee in the morning. He thought he knew every part of her, every thought, every feeling. Their home was a sanctuary, a testament to the love they had built brick by brick. But lately, a crack had appeared in the foundation, so small at first he could barely see it. It started with her phone. It was always with her, clutched in her hand or placed screen down on the table. A quiet buzz would send a flicker of something across her face, something he couldn't quite name. When he'd ask who it was, she'd wave it off. "Oh, just work," or "It's just Lisa from book club." The answers were plausible, but her voice had a new, brittle quality. The easy, open flow of their conversations had become stilted, punctuated by these small, awkward silences. One Tuesday evening, the feeling in Mark's gut became a roaring alarm. Sarah had told him she was working late on a big project, a common enough occurrence. Mark decided to surprise her. He picked up her favorite Thai food and drove to her office downtown, imagining the happy, tired smile on her face when he walked in. But when he arrived, the building was dark. Her car wasn't in its usual spot. He called her, his heart starting to pound a little faster. "Hey, honey, where are you? I'm outside your office with dinner," he said, trying to keep his voice light. There was a pause, a split second of dead air that felt like an eternity. "Oh, Mark, you shouldn't have," she said, her voice sounding strangely distant and flustered. We moved the meeting to a cafe downtown to finish up. I'm so sorry, I should have told you. I'm just heading home now." The lie was clumsy, and it hung in the air between them. Mark knew her office didn't have team meetings at cafes at 9 o'clock at night. He drove home in a daze, the scent of cooling pad thai filling the car, mocking his romantic gesture. The warmth he'd felt just an hour ago had been replaced by an icy dread. He didn't know the details. He didn't have any concrete proof, but he knew. He knew something was fundamentally broken. When Sarah walked through the door an hour later, she was a whirlwind of apologies and explanations. She talked about the stressful project, the demanding client, the last-minute change of plans. She talked a lot, filling the space with words, but she wasn't looking at him. Not really. She busied herself with putting her bag away, taking off her coat, avoiding his gaze. Mark just stood there watching her. Finally, she turned to him, a bright, fake smile plastered on her face. "So, what's for dinner?" she asked, as if nothing was wrong. That's when he looked, really looked, into her eyes, and he saw it. It wasn't in her words, which were a carefully constructed fortress. It was in the flicker of her pupils, the subtle tension around her eyelids, the way she couldn't quite hold his gaze. In her eyes, he saw a frantic search for a believable story. He saw guilt. He saw a stranger looking back at him from the face of the woman he loved more than anything. In that silent, heart-stopping moment, before a single word of confession was ever spoken, Mark saw the whole devastating truth. The late nights weren't about work. The secret texts weren't from Lisa. The woman standing before him was not the same one he had built a life with. The details didn't matter yet. The who, the where, the when, all of that would come later. What mattered was the chilling certainty that settled in his soul. He didn't need to hear it. He could see it. "Sarah," he said, his voice quiet but steady, cutting through her manufactured cheerfulness. "We need to talk." The fake smile finally crumbled from her face, and the truth, which had been hiding in plain sight in her eyes all along, finally began to spill out. The picture-perfect marriage had shattered, and it all started not with a shout, but with a look. It's a stark reminder that sometimes the loudest truths are the ones that are never spoken aloud. It's a painful story, but it's a real one for many people. Trusting your intuition is so important in a relationship. If something feels wrong, it often is. And if you're ever in a situation where your trust has been broken, remember that it's not your fault. It's okay to feel hurt, and it's essential to talk to someone, whether it's a friend, a family member, or a professional therapist. You deserve honesty and respect. Thank you for listening to this story with me today. If it resonated with you, please give this video a thumbs up and subscribe for more content. We'll see you in the next one.